Batman and Robin, issue 11, legacy number 77. Joshua Williamson writing with one for Aya on the art, which is nice. We've not seen that name in a while at DC, so I was excited to see some of the art here.
I think he's been working at Marvel recently.
He has been, yeah. It had been for a couple of years, which is why we haven't seen him around for quite some time. Williamson's been someone I've been ragging on a lot recently, and Batman and Robin's a great example of why, where it's like, okay, this great concept of Robin, or Damian, I should say specifically, going to high school, and then kind of being stuck there, right? Fun premise. And especially when his girlfriend ends up going with him, and they're both there undercover. This sounds fantastic. It's over by the end of the next issue. Right? And it's all done, and it's all wrapped up super neatly in a way that's really unsatisfying. So,
But there's always the shiny new thing.
There's always a shiny new thing. We're in Dinosaur Island.
Shiny new things.
Yeah, we're on Dinosaur Island. We're hunting down Bane, and we do get Faria art drawing T-Rexes and other dinosaurs. In fact, Faria just drawing Bane throwing a punch at a T-Rex on that second page is glorious.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna spoil a little bit of something for the end of the show now, but Bane boots the jaw off a T-Rex when he swings out from inside its mouth.
He does do that, yes.
What? Yes.
Yes, that's page 4, that right there. He basically, do you know what he does? He does, I don't even know what you'd call this type of kick, but he does that sort of kick where like a gymnast will like jump up, grab a bar, and then swing both legs like a drop kick. That's what he does. Yep. He holds something in the roof of the T-Rex's mouth. Who knows what? We can't see.
Tonsils.
Yeah, probably. And he kicks off the jaw of the T-Rex. It's pretty badass. And the art here is pretty glorious. And there's not even like, I mean, I suppose I can't say there's not a word. There's some sound effects, but there's not a word of dialogue in these first like 4 or 5 pages. It's not until after
the end of the 5th page is his first little bit of dialogue. He's
won the fight. He climbs like up to the top of a cliff and says, "I am the king now. Look at me. I'm the captain now."
Yeah, that's all I thought when I read it. I was like, oh.
But it's okay. You know what? We don't even need Batman and Robin for this. Just do Bane on the island fighting dinosaurs.
Whole issue of a silent issue of just Bane on Dinosaur Island.
But yeah, Robin comes in with Goliath. Batman's in the Batwing, and they're here to find Bane. Batman, although maybe it's in the flashback that comes up a little bit later, but Batman is a little bit concerned about Damian coming after Bane because Bane killed Alfred, and Damian was there for that. He's holding a.
Damian is not over it. Yeah, not that Bruce is over it, but Bruce deals with it like
Batman.
I mean, he's an adult for a start.
Yeah, he's Batman. So he's handled it the way you think he would, and he's concerned that Damian will be struggling with it. And obviously, there's some really nice art here. That's it though. I will say, I don't know if Batman or Robin ever look as good in this issue as Bane did. Like something about Faria's art just worked really well with Bane.
Do you know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Muscles. Faria draws big guys. It like notice how good his Goliath looks. I can't remember what I said.
You said he draws big guys. I said, for you.
Yeah. Yes. Very good. But like,
it's even a Bane reference. It's a Bane. It's not even just a quote. It's a Bane quote.
I know. But I was trying to say, look how good his Goliath looks compared to Batman and Robin. He likes drawing muscles, clearly.
Yes.
It suits his style.
Or even like fur, I feel like, because Goliath's got some fur, and I feel like the fur looks really good. He's really good at doing definition, I guess, is what we're saying here. Because whether it's fur or muscles, when there's like levels to draw and shade to fill in, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So
he's not as good with the flatness of the others, I guess.
Yeah. So we have this character who shows up, who I barely remember, if I'm honest, but she was on the island with Robin.
Maya,
yes. But yeah, this is where we get the flashback where Damian's concerned about Robin, or sorry, Batman's concerned about Damian. Damian's concerned about Robin. He's getting existential. He's having like an out of body,
Won't be the first time.
No. Then we get a scene that's very reminiscent of Lost World Jurassic Park, where they're all watching like this evil company try and put in the dinosaurs in cages, and I'm like, this is just Lost World Jurassic Park. All of a sudden,
given that they do directly reference Jurassic Park at one point,
yeah,
I think they're like, it's probably not unintentional.
Oh yeah, I wasn't suggesting it was by accident, but like it's really reminiscent of it. Like it's hard not to think of the middle of that movie when you see this.
Yeah.
But Bane comes swooping in and takes out these soldiers and these bad guys because he's basically saying this is my island now.
But he's not killing them.
He's not killing them, right? And Maya points that out, that Bane's not killed anyone since he got here. He's being very merciful, all things considered.
Not even one broken back.
But, you know, Bane arguably pretends that he doesn't care about the animals. He just kind of says he doesn't like cages and lets them free. But as he's doing all this, Bane grabs one of the soldiers, and Damien has like a Vietnam PTSD flashback to Alfred's death, where the coloring all goes red. So it's really well handled in the art, and you just sort of like see like the juxtaposition of like Damien's like shock face in the red for when he saw Alfred be killed,
and then the anger underneath.
Yeah, then the anger was a really nice thing, because I think he also looks older in the newer panel. And I think that's intentional. The idea that aged him like a couple of years, just seeing that is a really interesting little idea. Also, maybe explains why some artists right now are drawing him like he's 15 as opposed. And I guess maybe he probably should be 15, but you never know what the clock's been moving forward like in DC at any given time.
It's hard to tell. It's even harder now they've aged John up, so we haven't got another one to reference to compare it with.
Oh yeah, what was bugging me, and I know you like any idea to shit on the Wonder Woman book, even though it's fantastic.
Oh, but, you know I do. Well,
but the one thing I will say about the backups is that sometimes, like, Damien still feels like he's the current age, even though Lizzie is, like, 6, and I'm like, he should be, like, 20 by now, and John should be 25, or whatever like, he shouldn't still look like a kid, but he does, and it's kind of weird, but it's the whole thing. But, yeah, anyway, so Damien goes storming in, on
the back of a Velociraptor?
I don't think it's a Velociraptor.
I don't either. It looks like it's got too long of a jaw, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
This is where we need Matt.
Plus, it's very green, so I feel like they're going for a specific dinosaur here. That's
maybe. Look, feathers on its arms as well. Matt would know this. Honestly, this just looks like a Velociraptor with what I'm looking at. This image that I'm looking at has a Velociraptor with feathers on its arms, just like that does.
I don't know, because those raptors on the next page look more like the ones from Jurassic. I mean, they're still green, admittedly, so they've just decided to make them green in this book. But like the snouts don't look as long on the other page with the other ones that Maya's jumping over.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. This is, like I said, we'll get Matt's expert opinion at some point.
Yeah. Next issue, I'll ask him what's going on with the dinosaurs. But the end of the issue, though, because it actually ends right here. It's very quick read. Like it was over before I knew it.
And this is another one of those typical Williamson complaints. Just like really jarring pacing. Sometimes it just ends. It's just over.
Yeah, but Lady Bane, or Bane's daughter, whatever you want to call her, grabs Batman by the back of the neck and says, "Leave my father alone." And that's the cliffhanger here. So we don't even get like the result of Damien running at Bane, or even Bane's reaction to that, because we get that cliffhanger, and then we get the cliffhanger for Batman. We don't get like, because I think that's maybe why it felt so jarring, is that it felt like we should at least get the moment where Bane sees Damien coming towards him or something like that, like sort of tease the emotional sort of reunion of that, if you will. But instead we don't even get that. It just skips to the Batman cliffhanger instead. But yeah, that said, though, I still enjoyed this because dinosaur action's fun, and Faria is a welcome return to DC Comics.
He is very good at what he does.
He is indeed,
especially when he's drawing the muscles.
But I will say I'm not going to get my hopes up to assume this story is going to land with me. At least not,
because they very rarely do anymore with Williamson.
If ever, to be honest. I think at this point, if you tally up all the times they have worked for me, it's probably less than they have at this point.
Like, this is why I say he loves the shiny new thing. He's great at starting a story. He's like, oh, this will be great. And then it feels like he almost gets bored halfway through, and he's up because he's already looking at the next thing and he's already thinking of the next new idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he just cares more about that already, which, yeah, sometimes can be a problem with him.
Well, I think the bigger problem for me comes from that is that it ends up just making the story feel hollow, because nothing feels like it built up to a satisfying payoff.
And it's really frustrating because you always think, all right, well, I'll try again next time. And you start the next story and it's much better than the last couple issues you've read.
And that's true here.
Get halfway through that, yeah, and then you'll get halfway through this story and you'll go, I'm kind of not feeling this anymore.
He's dropping the ball again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so it's consistently inconsistent.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. So, all right, what are you rating Batman and Robin?
I mean, all those complaints said, it's the start of a new story, so it was actually pretty fun. And the art was great. And Bane kicking the jaw off a T-Rex. So I'm going to give it an 8.
I don't think I can go to the. I think we go 7.5. I don't think it's quite in that great territory because of the pacing, because of the way it ends suddenly.
I do agree with that. I think it is purely the art is dragging it up at least that half point for me.
Okay.